Ashley DeVorkin for Fox Lifestyle. Hennessy Cognac is marking the big 250. Yes, its 250th anniversary. The brand is celebrating in a historic manner as a recreation of an 18th century French ship, the Hermione, sailed into New York yesterday, this time with 2 bottles of rare cognac in tow. Joining me now to talk about all things Hennessy is Global Brand Ambassador Maurice Hennessy. So welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much.
So first, can you give us a little of the history of this ship and then why you wanted to mark your celebration in this way?
Well, in 1780, Marquis de Lafayette crossed the Atlantic in a ship called Hermione with a little bit of cognac, I must say, and he was here to help your guys to fight the British. And at the end of the day, with Washington, and they created a country called US of A. And it's a very important part of your history, and it's a very important part in our friendship between the two nations. So Hennessy started to sponsor this little event by helping the builder of a replica of the Hermione, which took a long time to do, but it has landed in New York yesterday. So that's good news.
Yes, and tell me about the cognac that was on board. How rare is it? What is it? So
the cognac, there's 2 barrels of a very special cognac created in honor of this celebration, the 250th anniversary. It's been created by the master blender, Jan Filiu, out of cognacs which he has read and nurtured during the 50 years of his working time at Hennessy. Some of them are at least 40 years old. So rare cognacs, there's only 250 barrels of 250 liters each for the whole world, so it's a very rare market. And it's a great cognac which will not be repeated. Okay. So collector's item.
Great. And then can you give us a little Hennessy history, which is also your family history? So a little history on how it all began and then when you started to get as involved with it as you are now.
So Hennessy was started by Richard Hennessy, who was an Irish gentleman in 1765 in the town of Cognac in France. Mm-hmm. I'm the 8th generation of Hennessys to work in this firm, and I started, I'm afraid, 40 years ago. And it's a great company. It's all over the world. It's by far the #1 cognac company, and it's very successful. And there we are. We started the XO with my great-great-grandfather, Maurice Hennessy, in 1870. We created this quality. And I'm always very happy to tell you that during Prohibition here, Hennessy was the only liquor legally sold under a doctor's order in the pharmacies of this country.
Oh, interesting. And so now talking about the market now overall, can you tell us about the demand for cognac now?
Well, the demand.
You see the biggest demand for, yeah.
The demand for Hennessy is large. I'm not going to go in any detail, but I mean, imagine that Hennessy sells about 60% of the cognac sold in this country,
okay,
the US of A. That the sales of Hennessy VS, which is our big sale, go up about double-digit every year in this market for many years. That, of course, cognac is still a very refined and elegant drink, which is made out of wine. Wine is made out of vineyard, and the vineyard are not machine. Vineyard are around the town of Cognac in France, and they do what they can. And we cannot always do as much cognac as we would like to. So it's a rare and refined product. But Hennessy has been making it for 250 years. Yeah. My family has been working for that. And as we say, we've been crafting the future for 250 years by planting vineyard, by studying how we can improve.
Yeah, and what about the consumer base? Has that evolved? Has that part evolved over the years? Who are the main consumers?
The main consumers are people who have a taste for good things, but we have here, it is true, a lot of cognac is consumed by the communities, like African American communities, Hispanic communities, or certain Irish communities. It's really everybody who has a bit of taste for the good drinks like it. But of course, we also sell a lot of cognac to the Asian communities. So we are everywhere, really.
Sure. Well, great. Well, Maurice, thank you so much. Really appreciate you sharing all of this with us today.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. And please come and visit us in Cognac in France. We love to have visits.
Great. Thank you.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
And thank you so much for watching. For Fox Lifestyle, I'm Ashley Dvorkin.